You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports 2. We're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers and Robert Gronkowski, of course, of New England Patriot and Tampa Bay Bucks fame. Arguably the greatest tight end that's ever played the game. I do think it is arguable. Shannon Sharp is out there too, you know. So there's some great tight ends over the years. Tony Gonzalez as well. But Gronk's got a lot of rings. A lot. And the numbers, they're phenomenal. And the one thing we know about Gronk is he was all about team. And he had a quarterback in his history that was also all about the team, all about winning, and couldn't give a rip about winning a Most Valuable Player award. Now, we've defended Aaron Rodgers, particularly on the main channel. We defended him over the jab situation. We didn't think anybody should be telling Aaron Rodgers what he should have to do with his body or what kind of medicine he should have to take. That said, from an NFL standpoint, I've never been that big of an Aaron Rodgers guy. I haven't, okay? Because of exactly these kind of comments. Things like caring about MVP awards instead of talking about Super Bowls. I've got a major problem with that kind of mindset, okay? For 20 years, we watched Tom Brady sign contracts at lesser value than what he was worth. Why? So the Patriots could sign and re-sign players, okay, and keep players. And I don't understand why more quarterbacks don't do that for the sake of the team. Look at the legacy Brady's going to leave behind. He is the GOAT. And no matter what, as far as I'm concerned, Aaron Rodgers will never be the GOAT. He's got no chance of it. He simply does not have the championships. Okay, and championships, at the end of the day, speak higher volumes than any. That's why my two favorite quarterbacks, and the two quarterbacks I consider to be the best of all time, are always going to be Tom Brady and Joe Montana. First, second. For years, it was Joe Montana, and then Brady passed him with that comeback against Atlanta. Tom Brady moved into GOAT status. So, let's get to this. Let's see what Aaron said. And then let's look at Rob Gronkowski, absolutely blasting back at Aaron Rodgers for essentially having his priorities all effed up. So, this is what was going on. I'll have Outkick and PFT on this. Four-time NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers is ready to add another Most Valuable Player title to his name, whether it's in Green Bay with the Green Bay Packers. It's a mystery. Appearing on the Pat McAfee Show Tuesday morning for his weekly hit, Rodgers spoke on a bounce-back campaign in 2023 after narrowly missing the postseason with Green Bay this season. Rodgers wasn't coy about playing another MVP-level season amid rumors of possible retirements. But the caveat the 39-year-old QB added in his comment was that it would all depend on playing within the right situation. Let's listen to what he said. This Pat McAfee Show.
Just because out of respect for the whole process and just, some things don't need to be said. I think are more understood implicitly. But nice. Do I still think I can play? Of course. Can I play at a high level? Yeah. The highest. I think I can win MVP again. The right situation. Right situation, is that Green Bay or is that somewhere else? I'm not sure. But I don't think you should shut down any, opportunity. Like I said, during the season, it's got to be, both sides, like actually wanting, to work together moving forward. And I think there's, more conversations to be had.
Okay, so there's a couple of things that comes out of that, right? He's talking about winning MVPs again, and can he? Who knows? He had a down year, okay? Maybe he can. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, there's no doubt about one thing when it comes to Aaron. He's always had all the talent in the world. But it's been the team side that, I don't know that necessarily he's had, especially on Brady's level, right? And the I want to win Super Bowls, okay? Super Bowls, not MVPs, Super Bowls. All right, I saw where Keyshawn Johnson even said, why isn't he talking about winning more Super Bowls? Why is he talking about the MVP? Well, enter, like I said, arguably the greatest tight end that ever played the game. He certainly played with the greatest quarterback that ever played the game, Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski criticizes Aaron Rodgers for aspiring to win another MVP and not another Super Bowl. Quote, do I think I can still play? Rodgers said, of course, I can play at a high level. Yeah, the highest, I think I can win an MVP again in the right situation. Well, again, that is not setting real great with a few players around the league that have retired, guys that chase championships, want to win. Gronkowski's got 4 Super Bowls, okay? Championships. Many have reacted to that by asking Rodgers why Rodgers is thinking about winning another MVP award and not about winning another Super Bowl. Retired for now. Tight end Rob Gronkowski, by the way, a lot of people think he might come back wherever Tom goes. Retired for now, tight end Rob Gronkowski chimed in on the issue during Wednesday's appearance on FanDuel TV's Up and Adams. Quote, I'm totally fine with everything he said except one part, Gronkowski said. And that's the MVP again. It's just that I think I could win another Super Bowl, and that would have been totally fine. Like, bro, like, why are you thinking MVP, question mark? Like, you don't want Super Bowls, question mark? Like, Super Bowls are, I think, 5 times greater than an MVP award. I could not agree more. I absolutely, fully agree with that. Fully agree with that. Quote, like we all know that you won the MVP a few times. But like, you know, everyone would know even more how many Super Bowls you won than MVPs. So that's why I'm just a little bit confused about that quote he had. I mean, it should be Super Bowls. You should never be thinking the MVP when Super Bowls are twice better. No one will ever accuse Gronkowski of being as smart as Rodgers. But Gronkowski is smart enough to spot the flaw in Rodgers' remark. It should never be about MVP. That doesn't matter. Champions crave championships. Selfish people covet individual awards and recognition. Okay, and we've kind of heard that sort of thing about Rodgers in the past. Greg Jennings, can't stand him. You know, I mean, which is just odd. Usually wide receivers love the quarterbacks they played with. I mean, my God, Michael Irvin thinks the sun rises and sets by Troy Aikman. He just does, okay? And that's just sort of odd, right? It's been my number one problem with Rodgers all these years is this. It's the individual accomplishments versus winning rings. All right? Plain and simple. It's always been my issue. It just seems like he's more of a me guy versus a we guy. All right? And when I start talking about GOATs, Aaron Rodgers will never break my top 5 quarterbacks ever. It's impossible because he doesn't have the rings. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I'm always going to have Brady, Montana, Elway, all right? One could argue Peyton Manning, even though he kind of backed into that second one, he still got a second one. Now, Is that all created equal? Like, okay, you got 2, so you're one of the greatest of all time. Now, that doesn't always work that way either, because Eli Manning didn't have the stats to go with the 2 Super Bowl rings, all right? So you do have to have some of both, and I think most people with any brain capacity can understand that, okay? In other words, you're not going to have, and I'll just pull some random quarterback out of my ass, Kirk Cousins goes and wins 2 Super Bowls. He's not going to be a top 5 quarterback in the history of football, even if he wins 2. And his stats are going to look pretty good, but he's still not going to be. All right, some of it is about still having all-world kind of talent. Mahomes is headed down that road. He's headed down that road. He's got 1. He's been to another. But he needs to win. I'd say at least 1 more and 2 more preferably if he hopes to ever have a chance to drop into that top 5 somewhere, right? So anyway, I appreciate what Ron Gronkowski's saying here, because I think a lot of, like me, a lot of people that are fans of, I'm a 49ers fan, it's all about championships. I don't give a fuck about nothing else, all right? Brock Purdy can never sniff an MVP award, but if he brings 3 rings in, that dude will be something else, right? At least to Niners fans. I understand Packers fans love Rodgers, but I think even some Packer fans are becoming stale on him, because we're also heading down the road of, were you staying in Green Bay, or you retiring, or you want to be traded? We're heading down that road too, again this year. My God. I mean, dude. And supposedly he wants Randall Cobb and Mercedes Lewis to come back again. Now, I do believe one thing. They could use some more talent up there. They could, particularly on defense. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. Am I being too hard on Aaron Rodgers? There's no doubt he's all world talent-wise. But to ever flirt with being the GOAT, you've got to have championships. Plural. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.